It's a dance party with Adobe Express and Book Creator. Howdy, y'all. We are already seeing people in the chat like, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. We're so excited to be here with y'all. Howdy, y'all. My name is Farmer Faubs, and I have wrangled up, stay on theme, y'all. Let's stay on theme. I have wrangled up some friends to help showcase some amazing student work with Adobe Express and Book Creator. I got my guy Michael and Ann here with me, and I'm gonna let you guys introduce and say howdy to the crowd. But while they're saying howdy, make sure y'all say howdy in the chat, and y'all get extra credit if y'all say howdy. Tell us where you're from. Tell us, what's your position, and Michael, you want to go first?
Sure. My name is Michael Wesley. And I'm in Virginia Beach City Public Schools in Virginia Beach. Ready for that hurricane. Woohoo! And I have been working for the city for 28 years, and I'm excited. I do instructional technology in the building. So I'm like the cruise ship director of the building. I love it.
That's the best description. Cruise ship director of learning.
Yeah, because I get all the fun toys and stuff.
I've witnessed this firsthand, and he literally is the cruise ship director. So it is so fun to actually see, like, in real life. So I've seen it. No lies told here. No lies told here. All right. And holler at the people. So let's
my gosh. Well, I love that description, Michael, because you bring the fun and the joy and the creativity and the organization to all of it. And I'm so excited to be on this podcast webinar, live stream, all the places that we're streaming. My name is Ann Cosma. I am one of the Adobe Express for Education evangelists. I love to describe my job as a teacher helping teachers, a human helping humans, and I'm super passionate about working with educators and students to supercharge creativity in their classrooms and learning communities. And it's a joy, Farmer Faubs, Michael Wesley, and my good friends and family at Book Creator. Thank you for having Adobe Express for Education here today.
Woo-hoo. I don't know how you follow those two. Like I'm like, hey, I'm Farmer Faubs. That's it, And y'all have like some amazing just ways to introduce yourself. I feel like I need to spice mine up and get on yours level. But super, super excited to be here with these two legends. And just, what we're here to always say, to give every student that yeehaw moment. Every student in the classroom deserves the opportunity to be creative. And I love seeing in the chat, shout out to Susan, shout out to Shelly from Indianapolis, Daniela, Michael. We are seeing so many people in the chat that I love just seeing you guys say howdy in the chat. So continue it coming. You guys log in, continues to tell us, just give us a howdy and where y'all from. But Michael, we're super excited. And I'm going to, before Michael shares his screen, I just need to give people just a little insights of how this kind of came to life. Because, one day I was scrolling on Twitter and, I'm on this thing called social media. And I see Michael tweet out the student's book. And it was a true yeehaw moment. And I could not wait to just put him on the stage to showcase the student's journey. I've seen it firsthand in person, but also be able to see just the power of social media and the power of sharing, but also the power of somebody having a vision for students to share all their yeehaw moments. So Michael, without further ado, let's see the journey of Riley.
All right, here we go. And let me see, I'm sharing my screen. Is that going to be coming up? Do I have to flip?
It's going to be coming up.
Okay, I'm waiting.
Let's see.
It's coming.
There we go.
I'm driving now. So, first off, does anybody remember that piece of paper, the green piece of paper, actually, that you used to write on? And I remember
former first grade teacher. Yep.
Yeah, and that was the bomb. I'm trying to think of how my teacher got me to write on that, and that was the big thing. And they replaced that shortly after with a another type of version with the hamburger model. I did not have the hamburger model when I was in school, but I really would have adored and loved it. So I shared that with my kids when I was.
I feel like this was more my generation.
So I put that one in there.
I never saw the green paper, but I saw the hamburgers.
You probably never saw a purple Xerox photocopy either before.
Oh, that crank machine, the Duplo.
So, you know, editing was always a joy, you know, especially when kids had that, you know, they're learning how to write, and then they got to be on that nice college ruled paper, and they'd always forget to skip lines. So it was always a mess. So that was one of the things I was thinking about writing, because we were talking about how do we bring writing and hook. And when I hook a kid into wanting to do something that maybe they're reluctant to do, or they don't really enjoy, because back in the day, we would have to write that green piece of paper, take the edits, and then our joy was to copy it over for the final draft. So I came up with the Book Creator, and I was thinking, Book Creator, what is the coolest thing in Book Creator if you're 7 years old and you want to get involved in this? And I came up with the analytics, because with the analytics, you actually have a map and it pinpoints wherever that book is read across the world. And I thought, geez, that would be really cool. And you're always looking for a carrot to hold. And the carrot would be, it's like, hey, I'll publish your book if you accomplish this, and you edit your book and you get everything set up. Once we get it published, you're going to the world. So this was my project I had with a second grade class. And one of the students, that's me thinking. That's my Adobe Express.
You're so handsome. It's like, wow.
I know. That's my.
Can you give us that look?
Look, I got the hair. One of the things I did, I was like, how can I make it even cooler? And I smashed it with Adobe Express and AI. So I found this little thought partner, and I gave him clothing according to what I was doing the research on in the books. And I also had ChatGPT come up with a cool backstory for my little guy, so that when the students are engaging with that thought partner, they can actually have a little bit of, hey, this person or thought partner is going to give me some information, and I want to put in what I'm going to ask for. So, you know, there are several other ones that I did for all the other little books that I had, and I loved being able to change the clothing on the little man there, the little robot. So I put the chatbot together. I created a book with a scaffold in it. And one of the coolest things that, Faubs, you're the one who brought this up to, is how to control kids, because keeping them on task can be a problem. And you know, when you release Book Creator to them, they're going to do all the elements and all the art and all the drawing. And I turned it off for the entire library. I said, show me your research. And when you get your research in there, then I'm going to put you into actually another library. I just transfer your book over to a library where everything's turned on and you can go to town. For this project,
I'm gonna pause you there, because I want you to kind of say that again, because a lot of people ask, like, my kids get into Book Creator and they just go down this rabbit hole, right? And they're creating, right? And so, you know, guys, this is like one of those little tips. Is you can enable and disable everything in the apps. Absolutely. You have the power. The power is in your hands. And so have your kids create that content first. And then I always say, like, now you got that extra time. There'll be extra. I've turned on the apps, and they kind of go like, oh yeah, woo-hoo. And so we turn on those apps, and then they add their content. They're able to go down those rabbit holes. So that's just a little quick tip if your kids are going down those rabbit holes. All right, keep on going. Go.
If you say to your kids, go be extra, like, what a way to supercharge creativity and provide new pathways for them to share and showcase learning. And Michael, like, the last comment I want to make before you go on, you hit the nail on the head by showing them the analytics and the map and where their books are being read, because you're providing that authentic audience for them to know their work has meaning, their work has value. And it's such a beautiful way to take it off of a device, or not just between like the immediate community.
Or the teacher's bag that your project may sit in while it's getting graded. I mean, you know, anytime I can figure out how to break away from the audience of one.
Yep.
Yes.
Ooh, and I can get a link. If I can get a link for anything I do, that's global. Yeah. So it's always amazing, you know, because now they're invested. Because
you know what? Not only their teacher is going to see it, others are going to see it. And you start to almost, do you always watch their journey of creativity and their journey of like how their books start to look is when they just think their teacher's going to look at it. It's here. But when they start to see that other people are going to see it, starts to elevate and get better and better. And so I always like watching that journey and almost making a copy of every book and just going, look at your first book when you thought nobody was going to read it. Now look at this book and 100 people have read it. So I love seeing that creative journey with them.
Oh, I love making the copy idea too. So for this one, you know, after they did the research for a couple of days, I went in and I turned on the cover. I said, I'm going to turn on the extras so that you can put your cover together. And I showed them a couple of tricks on how to remove the background from an image, how to search an image, how to create with Adobe app in Book Creator and seamlessly just enter it in, and then even take that image and remove the background from it. So I got them all excited with their covers, and then I turned it off. So they went back to doing some research. And then when they got to the certain point with publishing, I said, I'm going to let you start working on your pages now. And, you know, it was great. I even had the little checklist in there for them, along with the rubric and some other things. And the great part about the Book Creator, what you can do is in the sides of it, the page, you can create there, and you can put a video instructions for your students if you wanted to, or just notes, or, you know, questions for them to answer. So when they play the book, they're not going to see that, but it can live there, and it's extra information and clarity for them. So after we get that all set up, I have, now when the kids came back to me, I said, if I see you did not capitalize, because kids are allergic to capitalizing that first letter of a sentence. If I see that, I'm going to go like that and be gone with you.
Literally, y'all.
You got to add a little drama to it. So, yeah, they see that and it's like, oh, man. And they'd have to go to the end of the line. So it's amazing how it eventually worked even better. When these kids came up, they had the capital letters. Riley was the first to actually pass all of the tests. And in the analytics, you know, as you can see, when you get the globe feature right here in the upper right hand corner of the book, when you get that globe on there and you click on it, that brings you right to this tab with your book details. And when you click the analytics, that's when they get the map. And the great part is that the kids can do that too. So Riley, you know, went home and she shared it with her parents, but I shared it with the internet. I didn't tell her, and I've already had permission from her mom, so we're okay there. So I went home and made sure to tag Farmer Faubs in this one. So, and sure enough, you picked this up. So you read her book and you learned about lobsters while you're on the farm. And day one came back, and this was what she had on her analytics the next morning. And it's really cool because at 8 o'clock at night, it is when it turns over. So I could always see the next day before I went to bed. So I saw 8. I was like, okay, that's great. You know, 12 reads, 2 countries. Canada picked it up, and that was great. And we were excited about that.
Oh my gosh.
Day 2, the UK, something happened over there. And
something's in the UK.
Something's in the UK.
Maybe like
look at that.
Those people that work for Book Creator.
Yeah.
Over in the UK, you know.
Yeah. So when you email a link to somebody you know over there, they send it to their
friends.
Know,
people know people. People know people.
Yeah. So my book is starting to go. 44 reads, 6 questions, 2 days. So I was like, all right, this is accomplishing something.
Okay, what's Riley's reaction at this point from day 1 to day 2? Because like that's such a stark change.
Superstar. She's going home. She has her Chromebook. She can open it up and her parents are looking at it, and then can zoom into the map to see, you know, close to where these people are reading this book. Exciting. She was like so proud of all of that. And
I feel like she's totally making the Ann face. Like and like yeah. that to me is like the face that I could see Riley making.
But wait. There's more. This is like a Ginsu knife, man, because I don't leave anything on the table. I wrapped it all up into a morning announcement. So if anyone's opening this book, or when they do, they'll be able to see the morning announcement followed by like a PSA by Farmer Faubs with 3 hot tips. Because, you know, you can see that Riley actually met you when you were here doing a school visit, and we were able to take a lot of pictures. And just by chance, I happen to have Riley and you together because of she has these fabulous eyeglasses. So this is kind of honoring Riley and her journey and sharing it with the entire school, saying, hey, if you get published, this is the kind of stuff that you're going to see and it's going to happen. So I'm not only getting her and her class excited, I'm working on the whole school.
Yep.
So, the morning announcements, as soon as you're up on TV, you're a celebrity. It's just how it works here in elementary school. So we celebrated her. She had her yeehaw moment. This is her first day. If you asked how she felt, look at that. It's a smile worth $1 million,
yes.
right?
And just to be able for her to see her analytics, like that's a yeehaw moment. Be able to meet her in real life is awesome. But like you talk about her being able to see her journey, super cool.
And then day 3, once again, we're blowing up 60. Now we're at 8 countries. Indonesia. I don't know how it got there, but it did. And I think that Indonesia click. So I went on just the last night and I said, where's this book going and where's it been now? So we're up to 97 reads, 9 different countries. 2 of them are in New Zealand. Thank you, Dr. Michael Harvey.
Yep.
And they are awesome. She gets to see all of that. And I'm not quite sure if she's pulled it up over the summer or not, but when she comes back, I guarantee it'll be one of the things she does when she gets a Chromebook back. And what happens with, Book Creator is that it gives you milestones. It's like almost gamified. It's like you have a milestone of 20 reads. You have a milestone of 50 reads. And then it gives you all the cool flags. And so this is in her little email box that she has, and she can see all of this. And when she clicks on that, and it just adds to the excitement. And like, wow, that's a lot of people reading my book that wasn't stuffed into a teacher's bag to be graded and given back like a week or 2 later, So this is like, how much more exciting can you get than that?
Michael, also, how much more like interest and excitement and motivation our students have for sharing their writing, using the proper syntax and grammar, capitalizing, where they need to. I know that was like a lesson and like, get your capitals, get your title done right. But like, we've all seen it as educators, like everything transforms when students know their work is going to be showcased and celebrated in these 100%. Really innovative ways. But I can only imagine as Riley goes back to school this year and sees the update on her analytics, like the joy and passion for learning, but knowing her voice matters, her creativity is literally reaching around the world. Like, kudos to you and well done. Like, this is so cool.
Yeah,
this is a yeehaw moment for sure. And
for me, it was a big yeehaw moment because it wasn't just Riley. It was like everybody in that class is turning on fire, and they're like, "Oh, I want to publish." And the publishing line from my attention got very long. It's like I almost had to, at one point give out numbers. I was like, "Here's your number. So go work on your project still."
You're like at the meat stand.
Yes,
I could see that at the meat stand giving numbers out.
Numbers out. It's like so. Here's your number. I'll call you. I'll call you when it's your turn, so you don't waste any time.
Michael, tell the author of that Megalodon book I'm obsessed already because I love the like unknown of Megalodon out there in the ocean. And so these ferrets, honeybees, all about the wetlands, and clownfish. Oh my gosh.
And the clownfish one is really special too, because these are like AI image generated, and AI did a super job of real life clownfish. He wanted the clownfish in the sea in me. He got that. And then he got a clownfish. He took away the background in that clownfish. These little zooplankton that he has that the fish is getting ready to eat in the bottom right corner, they're like little jellyfish. So he took the background out of that and he represented that. But they're going to remember these books and the information they put in these books for way longer than if they would have just done a typical research project. And because of their investment and the fact that they're published and they're being read. And you can see, like,
hey, say it louder for the people in the back. I love that you just say that. Kids are creators, right? And they're going to remember this for their lifetime. But also, I love that, like, you had Riley's book, but I remember this journey because you had people like lining up later after like seeing Riley's book, and her success was they started elevating their book. They started capitalizing their words now. And I think that's the power of one, community, and 2, when you're able to showcase, through other than those teachers' eyes, you saw like this chain of effects of like what happened in the classrooms, and to be able to see that these books then came alive. So love this. All right, keep going.
Yeah, so I mean, even the kids that were not in a classroom that was publishing books or working on a specific project in Book Creator, they were coming up into the hall with me saying, "Can you publish my book? Can you publish my?" It's like, well, you'll have to have a conversation with your teacher about that. So it was like real fun, and like just think of the critical thinking skills. Like if you see this one about with the honeybee in it and the spider in the web, those are 3 individual images put together. I mean, that's the bee, it's the spider, and the web. And if you look really close, and when you open the book, you can see that the web is technically over top of the spider. So, the removed background on all 3 of those to place them to demonstrate, what he wanted the words, or he has his text here. So he did that. And I love the wasp and the honeybee, and it talks about why that he has that picture there. So was just a fantastic project. And having those analytics just blew it up. And I have assets that I just roll through the news again, and people remember that, and they're going to remember how they felt during that. And when you feel like $1 million, you're going to give a little bit more. So that's my MO.
Yeah, I love it. I
think celebrated daily on the news as this journey was going for that first week, and threw a couple of Faubs videos in there with tips, how to insert images into like a cartoon template and everything. So I can't wait to show more. So keep making them.
and we're here, guys. And I always at this point is that when you see people tweet out those books and you see people post them on socials, click on them. Because this is how much community can really make an impact to a student's lives and to a classroom's lives, is when people come together and click on that book and read that book from all over the country. Like, your click matters. Your click matters to each of those students being able to read that book. And so, y'all, just a big shout out to the community for clicking on that book, reading that book, and giving those students the yeehaw moment. So continue to share. And if you're in this webinar, you're in those chats, publish your kids' books, publish them, send them to us via email, send them to us via, social media, because we click on them and we share them, because we're giving those kids a yeehaw moment by seeing that their story matters. Every student has a story, and their story matters. So we really wanted to showcase the impact of those clicks and of those reads. So Michael, thank you so much for sharing. Truly a yeehaw moment that you are continuing to make for your students, not only in Virginia Beach, but all over the world, because your story can inspire other people to publish those books. Just simply 3 dots, click share, hit publish. And with Adobe Express, we always say, if you can think it, you can imagine it, you can create it. And these stories came to life. These animal stories came to life, by that. So there's a great integration right inside Book Creator. And Michael, we're going to actually show them this integration right now. What do you think?
I think so, because there was another book here that we can.
Yeah, there's another book there, and I know our girl Katie has dropped the link to this library. And so what we want you to do right now is we want you to go into the book. It's a black book that says "Where Imagination Meets Creation." What we want to do is we want to see you in that book. I already see a few people on page 2. Page 3, page 4 is go ahead and join us in this book. And guys, you can actually see how many people are on each page. And what we've done is we've gone ahead and we have prompted our favorite summer moment. And our girl Katie, we wouldn't be operating without her. So a big shout out to her in creating this template and creating this book, but also adding her favorite place in the summer. So kudos to her. And then I think I'm next. And one of my favorite places this summer was actually going and seeing these two in San Francisco. And so I prompted a Golden Gate Bridge, and then I added an image of myself, removed the background, put it there. So big yeehaw moment for me. And then Ann, I know you added a special spot.
Yeah, so who's ever driving that next spot? Y'all, I just want to also call out the chat. I know I keep seeing Book Creator drop in join the library. The link is in the chat. So for those of you who are watching, when you click on that chat, you'll be able to join into the book and actually claim your own page. What I created on my page was a representation of one of the summer days I spent at Emerald Bay in Lake Tahoe, California. So my prompt using the Adobe Express image generation inside of Book Creator was a first person point of view, looking at legs and feet dangling towards the water of Emerald Bay, surrounded by the natural landscape. So I put a bunch of extra details in there, but I wanted that first person perspective, looking out, dangling my feet. But that's literally what it looks like. This is one of our state parks in California, and it's such a beautiful, beautiful space. So that's what I created, because that was one of my epic summer moments from some getaway and disconnect time that I had.
I love it. All right. You got, oh, I see Shelly is already on page 6. Guys, get into this book, claim your page, all right, and start creating. All right. Yay! Let's see. I'm gonna move. All right. So Michael, if you want to go to page 6, or yeah, you already got one. Woo-hoo.
Oh no, this is Michael.
Oh, that's
don't worry, Michael. I won't touch it.
I wonder if it's Michael Clear. I bet
it's got to be our boy Clear. It's got to be.
Hey.
Yes. You can go ahead and go to a page. Oh, Susie, I can't wait. You guys are starting to create. Y'all are literally making our day. Cool. Peggy's in there. So Michael's going to make this live, y'all. And so
no pressure.
You guys, no pressure at all. Okay. He's adding his name. He just clicked. He's adding his location and his role. All right. And so we want to see, you guys, your name, your role, your location, your name, all that fun stuff. I see more and more people into this book. Y'all, we're trying to have some FOMO here. If you're not in this book, you want to get in there right now. We have a whole crew in there. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about. So, Michael, what we're going to do is make sure that you go into the Adobe. Oh, okay, Michael. Okay, Michael had to add that one too. Okay, all right. Michael, why don't you add that to the left side, because we still need room for our. I feel like he's going to prompt his garden, y'all. Oh, that's a perfect spot. So what Michael's going to do, he's going to take us through how to add an Adobe Express image. He's going to go +. He's going to go to apps, okay? And it is under AI image generator, okay? And he is going to prompt his favorite summer moment. Now, and I feel like you and I were definitely one of them in San Francisco, but I feel like he's got a lot of favorite summer places, all right? So he's going to prompt it, and we're actually going to show you like a little quick tip to throw it into that frame, okay? So we're gonna watch him work. And while he works, we just want to all show you guys our little App Smash outfits. Like we are there you go. Michael's is like Superman. We always love to show off our app smashing outfits when we can. All right. Ooh,
I like that one.
Gorgeous.
Michael, you were in Arizona with your mama.
I was, and she's actually going to be watching this.
Ooh, shout out to Mama. Shout out to Mama. Ooh. She is the GOAT. Now, let's show them, Michael, this quick tip. So y'all see this frame right here. Kind of click on that frame on the right side in that frame. Yeah. Okay. Notice when you hit the +, you cannot add an Adobe image directly to this frame. But what we're going to do is we are going to click on the Adobe integration. We're going to click on that and copy that. So like I'm on a Mac, so I'd hit Command-C, or you can hit Control-C or hit copy. Go back to that frame. Yep. And then paste it. Either Command, boom. And then just delete that. So y'all, that is how you put the Adobe image into our frame. All right. Because a lot of people try to resize it and don't realize that, like, hey, it goes right in there really, really nicely. So love, love, love. I'm gonna look through some of these pages because I can't wait to see what you guys are creating. And Anne and Michael, we just talked about the power of publishing.
Yeah.
Don't you think that we should publish this book after maybe this evening once everybody gets it all going and has their dream vacation or their favorite summer moment? What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I think, and I'm on page 9 and Susie is editing live. I could see where she literally just used that hot tip to take the picture and copy and paste it in. I literally watched it go boop, boop on my screen. So Susie in Virginia, love, and also reading a book on a boat on the ocean looks like a gorgeous, yeah.
Yeah. We got Daniela from Romania that also like added an image of where I feel like that's exactly where she like hiked. Now you talk about, there you go, page number 13. Love, love, love. Anybody else we got going here? We have Kiki, my girl from Greece. I actually just met her. She's awesome. That is an amazing photo.
Hey,
amazing.
Michael, let's go back to your page for a minute. I want to know about your prompt because I think like you typed in your prompt, but also to just jump in and share, like I love, first of all, Book Creator. I have used it since I was a coach in my school district in Southern California. I have so many happy memories of going into classrooms and demoing. One of my most epic like Book Creator memories is doing with kindergartners in our dual language program where they were talking about the colors as they were working on language acquisition in Spanish. But creating books and them like capturing their voice using the Spanish language that they were practicing and acquiring. And I just remember like teaching Book Creator solamente en español with the students. Like it was the coolest thing. But one of the coolest things that happened this year was the Adobe Express integration inside of Book Creator and the ability to use the image generation to customize, personalize, and create that content. So Michael, you clicked right into your page. You dropped in that gorgeous sunset, but I'm always curious about people's prompts. Like what was your prompt for that? And what are your pro tips? Faubs and Michael, what are your pro tips for creating images and prompting images?
Practice.
So practice. I think for me, this one pro tip that I've learned is I like to, when I do some app smashing, I have people create a social media post on using one of our templates of their favorite historical person. And so when I prompt that, I oftentimes use a year. So like if I'm prompting Eleanor Roosevelt, I'll say what year she was in.
Okay.
Or so that's kind of like one little tip that I like to like tell kids is like if you're especially prompting somebody historical, add the year that they might be in, and that can maybe help with the attire or the dress or the background, those kind of things. So that's like my little one pro tip.
That's awesome. Michael, what's yours?
Well, for me, with the littles, I like to tell them, use all those descriptive words to draw your picture, like make it just dripping and just juicy. And the more the effort and the more description they put in there, the more spectacular their picture is to pull that language out from them and to have them put the vocabulary. It's like, you know what? It don't matter if you spell it correctly, but if you need to really know, just open up a tab and just say, correct spelling and find out and paste it back in there. But even with some misspellings, it'll still figure out what you're trying to say. Yeah. And, I just want to just keep putting it in, I
love that. Pop the link up on the screen of that Gen AI resource. We don't have to go to the resource, but I want to point this out to everybody who's listening in. This link leads to a phenomenal text to image resource created by my teammate Shell, and it literally gives you so many pro tips, ideas, inspiration, examples for yourself and your students on how to use the image generator. So that resource right there.
That is the best.
Love it, love it, love it.
Favorite
Yeah.
to refer back to. I have it, starred so I can pull it up at any time under my website favorites. So because it is such packed full of great information.
Yeah.
And I actually share it with the kids too, so the kids can see what is there.
Love it.
All right, y'all. Hey, we could be on here for days, literally for days. I'm going to just showcase our back to school where we have all kinds of resources. But before y'all leave, make sure you drop a big old yeehaw in the chat. If you love this webinar, loved hanging out with us, and also a big shout out to our girl Katie that's always in the background, staying on top of us. Give her a big old yeehaw as well. But drop those yeehaws in the chat. We'd love to hear from y'all. And we have this back to school resource for our teachers, for coaches, for teachers. We also have all of our webinars. We have so many amazing webinars here pretty soon. So we have resources, teacher resources, admin resources. So make sure that y'all click on that link. All right. So many great, amazing things happening with Book Creator and Adobe Express. So y'all, this was a big yeehaw moment for us, and we appreciate y'all so much. And we'll see you next time, y'all. Yep, we got our app smash.
Yeah!
Yeehaw, y'all. All right. We will see you guys later. Thanks, Shelly, for hanging out with us, y'all. Thanks,
Bye.
Dominique. Yep. Thanks, y'all. We'll see you.
Bye, y'all.
Thanks, Peggy. Yeehaw.